Hey guys, Brad from Sturgeon Software here to present a new product I've been working on called Sturgeon Suite. So Sturgeon Suite is a CRM, a customer relationship management platform, built to be a simplistic way to run a small business. So the dashboard workflow here on the landing page, if you go to sturgeonsuite.com, is add a customer, add a product or service, create a quote, email the quote, the customer accepts and signs the quote, send the customer an invoice, and you get paid. So the Sturgeon Suite tracks all the way from getting a lead to a new customer to a project, a quote, getting paid. So it's a full workflow to run your business. We're going to walk through the basics today. We're going to click create free account. We're going to fill in a test account today for Brad Test. Okay, so we created the account. We should get a verify your email to our inbox. I have it. I'm just going to click that link to verify, and then the page should auto load and recognize that, and then boom, here you go. You're on the dashboard. So instead of going through the navigation in the top nav bar here, what we're going to do is actually walk through the onboarding process here in the account setup and onboarding checklist. So there's 10 steps. 10 steps to set up a detailed account to run your entire business. So we're going to click here on step 1. Step 1 is defining your business essentially. So we're gonna make a business called Brad's Construction, and this isn't a real company, but we're gonna say that this is an LLC, that Brad Test is the owner. For the email, I'm gonna put in the same email for my business. Legal contact is Brad Test. This stuff, validity window for quotes 60 days, invoice payments due within 14 days. For address, we're just going to put 123 Test Road. This is Test. We'll say Michigan. We say 49770. Country, United States, and then we'll click Save and Continue. You include an at in the email address. Oh, okay, didn't realize that was the email address field there. So save and continue. Okay, so we'll go back to dashboard, go to step 2, update our logo. Let's go to just a random picture of a hammer. We're going to upload that, save and continue, go back to dashboard, go to step 3, connect Stripe. We're going to skip that for now. We're going to go to step 4 where we can import services, products, and customers. We don't need to do that, so we're going to skip that, and we're going to add a product manually here on step 5. So what item am I selling for my construction company, Brad's Construction? So the first item I'm selling is a full house build. This is a service that is, for the sake of this video, I'm going to say $12. It's taxable, yes. Status active. Build you a house. Create that. Now this is available to link to any customer, any quote, any invoice, etc. And then I'm going to say, hey, what about building you a garage? And I'm going to say this costs $13. I'm going to create. So now I have 2 products and services, or these are services in this case, created. Go back to my dashboard. I'm going to add my first customer. So my first customer is going to be John Doe at he works for a company called Doe's Rentals. And his email, I'm going to put in my email here just so I can email myself these quotes. Phone, we'll just put in a random number since we're just testing. Lead source, we'll say, oh, this guy was on my website and he gave me a call. His address, we'll call 123 test road in test. This guy's from Maine. It's this zip code, and we'll say I met him. Okay, so we made our first customer. Customer display name, I accidentally put a J, so we'll say John Doe. We'll update the customer. Well, here's our first customer, John Doe. So we have 2 services built, 2 customers built. Go back to the dashboard. We're going to choose our template. What do we want our quotes to look like? We're going to use the original style template for this demo. These are some other different styles here. You can click use this template and use that template for your quotes. Then we're going to go back to the dashboard. We'll just click our current template, create your first quote. Now, we can't create the quote because we didn't connect Stripe, so we're going to walk through that real quick. Now, this is set up as a sandbox so I can demo it to you, but what Stripe is a payment service that will pay to your bank account. And this will allow you to configure it by just clicking this Connect Stripe button. So we'll click that. And Stripe will load and say, hey, let's get you started. Let's create a Stripe account for you. So we'll put in a fake number here since we're just testing. Or we'll click use test phone number. That works. And all zeros here to get a verification in this test mode. I'll say, yes, I'm a company. I'm a single member LLC. I'll click continue. We'll say we don't have a website. So we'll say test man. Enter test bank account credentials instead. I'll say routing number, autofill with test data. Done. Now, when you actually fill this out, it'll be connected to your real bank account with your real company information. Not sure what we're missing that we need. Maybe we need a business site. Okay, agree and submit. And just like that, it loads back to the site and we've connected Stripe. So we'll go back to the dashboard. Now we can receive payments directly to our bank account. So now we're going to click create your first quote. I'm going to click new quote. We created this customer, which we could fill out a new customer in the quote if we wanted, but since we created the customer, we can click John Doe and we can pre-fill all John Doe's information. In this note, we'll say John Doe is requesting a house, and then we could attach a document if we want, but we're not going to. Now we're attaching the service we already made, a garage and a full house built. And we see that total with a 5% tax is $26.25. We're going to click create quote, and boom, here's our test quote. So we have our company logo, our company name, our company address, the quote number, the customer's name and company name, and then the customer header here with their name, email, and address, and then the description of work here, and the itemized cost. Now, we have this quote built. The next piece in the workflow is I created this, I need to send it to my customer. And when you create a quote, it's as simple as creating it and then just clicking send to customer. And when you click this, you'll see that this quote was emailed. So this quote was emailed to the customer. And when you click if you click the quote card, it will launch this preview window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the email that came to me. So this is an example of the email the customer will get. It will come from quotes@sturgeonsuite.com. It'll say quotes from Brad Construction, your company name, and they can click view and respond to quote. So we'll click this. Actually, we're going to click this in a incognito window. So it'll show as the customer sees it, where it will say scroll to the bottom and accept this quote. So they can read through everything and they see it was signed by us. And they can click accept and e-sign, and then quote accepted. Their name is signed on the quote with the date. And when they do that, what that will do on the Sturgeon Suite site is it updated, but I refreshed right after. We'll see this accepted badge, and then this quote was accepted, so we can begin to work on this. So you may go complete this work and then say I've finished this for my customer. I've talked to them on the phone. The work is done. I'm going to click convert to invoice. I'm going to look at everything. I'm going to say, hey, I want 100% of this payment, but I could do like a 50% down payment if needed. And then I'm going to click create invoice. And then here's my invoice. You can see I'm on the invoices tab. If I want to look at it, I can click view. I can see, hey, this is the 100% of total from the quote that I sent you for $28. And then I can send this to the customer. The customer then will get an email that says, hey, an invoice is paid. The customer will then get an email that says, hey, your invoice is ready. You can now make this payment for $27. So it'll come with this code, and they'll click view and pay invoice. And we're going to again do this incognito window. So it would show up like this for them. They would put in the code, they would click view invoice. And then once they view this invoice, they can go, okay, I'm going to sign this and pay it. So I'll put in Brad Test, sign the invoice, and then the pay button is enabled, and it will redirect them to pay through Stripe, like this. So that's the gist of the process flow from creating the customer, creating the product and service, the quote, the invoice, and then getting the payment. So we can see here on the payments page that we have $55 in open receivables. We have $0 in cleared payments. And we'll see down here in the ledger entries of the invoices that were issued. And yeah, that's a general look at the process flow. If you go to the dashboard, you can see the workflow on the dashboard. So here's an example of what we went through. We created a customer, a product, a quote. We sent the quote, we accepted it, we sent an invoice. The customer would pay it, but they haven't. Now, a few other features just to note on the site. There's quite a bit of options here. The dashboard is made to be kept simple, but with these buttons here, but there's additional options here in the settings. So there's a calendar where you can look at when quotes are due, created, when they'll expire. You'll see these actions here. You can click on these filters. So if I want to look at dates where invoices are due, I can do that, etc. Then I have this little bell here is a notification window that will tell me when quotes are coming due, when invoices are due, anything relevant that's a notification that I would want to know about, it'll show there. We have account details here. We have the help and workflows page, which explains all different features of the site. We have expenses. Now we can also track expenses. So if I want to track my business expenses for the year, I can do that here where I can essentially go to reports and look at a profit and loss, and it will show me my expenses versus my revenue and my net profit. On reports as well on this tab, you can export CSVs of any piece of the site. So if I click export CSV for quotes, I can get a list of those quotes in an Excel file. So that's handy, quick action to export any of those. Settings, we also have a user center. You can add users who can log in and run your business as well. There's a document center where you can upload and attach documents to quotes and invoices. There's a support where if you have any issues, you can contact us and you can edit your business details here. You can set up multi-factor authentication as well. Then you can go to templates. You can change your primary, secondary colors on your quote if you have a quote that has coloring. Then you can also import customers' products, services, or expenses. So if you want to put them in an Excel file, you can download the template, open the template, pre-fill this out, and then import the customers so you don't have to enter them manually. There's a log section as well where we can see everything that's happened within our account for auditing purposes. And that's pretty much it. So that's a kind of long-winded but quick demo of Sturgeon Suite. If you guys have any questions, please let me know for sure. And I hope you will subscribe and try out this product. Thank you.